Man, you come straight out of a comic.
No, they did. Oh, hey, Dion, can you flip your camera real quick?
I'm about to switch over to. I told y'all I'm trying to get my computer ready. This is my phone. I can.
Oh no! I didn't hear you. I didn't hear you say that. My bad. So never mind. I didn't hear you say that.
Yeah, I texted to you.
Yeah, but nah, man. I couldn't wait to talk about this.
Yeah, that's how we were. We were on set when they was releasing everything. Like we was sitting there with Dion and stuff, and I saw they was like Wakanda Forever. They was like, yo, I'm in here crying. I was like, who crying? What happened? And I was like, the trailer out?
Bro, that's sad. Yeah, man. Like because I think
then like when. But go ahead, my bad, y'all.
No, I was just gonna say we was editing like DreamCon footage, you know what I'm saying, trying to get all that together and everything. And that as they released it, my brother he was in another one with where they was actually covering San Diego Comic-Con. So he put it in the group chat. I'm seeing that while I'm editing. I'm like, bro, I can't focus on anything I'm doing right now because Marvel is out here killing shit.
Boy, they can't put their dick on the table with Comic-Con.
Let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about it.
Oh yeah, no, we recording. So ladies and
it's happening.
Yeah, because we do like behind the scenes.
Oh, we already. He said it's happening.
They like this behind the scenes shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm about to switch over. You might see two versions of me. As soon as it comes on, I'm gonna get out.
Yeah, and then when you switch, we'll get started.
Two variants of you.
Two variants. You're like, wait. Why y'all in two different backgrounds? How is this possible?
Why this one got a full beard? Hold on.
That's hilarious.
Hey, I ain't coming in hot, am I? I didn't touch my mic status.
No. You might. Yeah, no, it's better now.
Yeah, cool.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm good. Will.
I hate that.
Yeah, you good.
I hate that I turned my mic off. I mean, I turned my computer completely off, which hadn't been turned off in like at least a month. And I try to set that muzzle. He's like, "Hey, nigga, I'm updating. You gonna have to wait."
She turned me off. I'm updating.
Hey, nigga, I'm updating. You gotta wait.
But yo, so
you ain't gonna just shove your dick in me. You gonna have to give me some foreplay.
Oh,
you gonna have to wait.
Oh my god!
My hard drive.
And they said I'm dirty.
Wet.
Jesus.
You're gonna have to wait for this.
Yo, man. Oh man.
But yo, before we get started, I'm gonna do this behind the scenes.
So
people been asking about my phase 4 lineup and why I picked it like that. Let me go ahead and shit. Yeah, let me go ahead and shit on everybody, making me more mad because it makes sense. So Clint, since you wasn't here, I'm gonna tell you, we rated phase 4 movies.
Get ready to get pissed. Get ready to get
from worst to best. So my
wait. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
So my list was from worst to best is Thor, Eternals, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, Shang-Chi, and Black Widow.
Black Widow is his favorite of the phase.
I'm not mad because Black Widow is actually a very good movie.
It is.
The problem with Black Widow, it's a great movie. But for me, when it depends on how you're ranking it. It sounds like you're ranking it from strictly just like a story, cinematic perspective.
Yeah.
Or even just like what what the movie is. Mm-hmm. Okay, and I'm fine with that because
that's how I ranked it,
and that's okay. Because if I were ranking, I would rank it based on what I like, but also I have to add in the one part is MCU relevance. And I'm not saying that Black Widow doesn't, but it had probably the least. I mean, we see her sister going to become a part of the Thunderbolts. Yeah, but that
was about it. And then Dion said it best on the last one. It was like it came out too late, and that's really what threw it down. But this is why I put the list like.
I agree
because I fuck with Natasha heavily. Like I tell people all the time, like she is one of my favorite Avengers because like a lot of my favorite characters, like in DC, like I fucking love like Red Hood, or Arkham Knight, depending on how you right. I always like the nigga with the 2 pistols that's what I'm saying, bucking at niggas. So it's like the way I see Natasha, she about it. Like fam, she be on that battlefield. And then like I started playing the Avengers game.
She has no powers.
Crazy.
She crazy on that video game.
Crazy with the pistols.
Yeah, she really do. If you got her, if you got her, she got the guns, and then she got that long
that
long
stick
stick
with the
yo,
electric stick. Bro.
Yeah,
she cold.
Yeah, dog. Like she's the fastest one too.
Yes.
Like she's very agile.
She be
Flying with her. I like Black Widow. If I had to rank Phase 4 movies, to me the best one was probably Doctor Strange. And that was just because of how it opened up the MCU.
That's what I had as my top.
It really it really opened up the MCU. Then my second one would probably be Shang-Chi. And it didn't do anything MCU wise for me, but Shang-Chi was a great
story.
Was a great cinematic, great story. It was like it should have got more. I wish it had more MCU relevance than it did, but that was a powerful film. Then I would probably give you. Then I would give you Spider-Man. And more so for the crossover purposes. I mean, you putting Tom Holland, Garfield, and Tobey Maguire all in the same. I mean, you can't. Yeah, I can't be mad. Then I would go Black Widow. Then I'd go Thor, and then I go Eternals.
Okay.
I thought Eternals was the worst one, just based off of the fact that the Eternals didn't. Like, I just like, what's the point of this? You know what I'm saying? Like, I get the origin, it's Celestials and all that. I get that, but it was just like, why should I care about them?
And I have a good reason why that didn't work and why I put it in the order I did. I put Thor at the bottom because it's too new and I only saw it once, so I couldn't give it the reins to want to put it up any higher.
But I really like Thor though, y'all.
I like Thor. I like Thor.
So here's the thing. I like all of it. So for me, my list was almost similar to yours, Clint, except that I did have Thor last and I had Eternal second. But because like I said, I'm basing it off of, like, to me, like the way they did Celestials was like, I thought that was like the perfect way to see a giant. Like, if I felt that when I saw it, like, damn. But here's the thing, what you said about Shang-Chi, where it actually does tie in. If you finish all of Miss Marvel, like, I love, like, to me, seeing how you know what I'm saying, how that
dimensions now, they're focused. There's a difference between different multiverses and different realms and dimensions. That's a big thing. And then with Shang-Chi, I forgot that's a whole different. Was it a different realm or a different dimension that his ancestry is from?
Well, also, I think that got something to do with Kang. I think Kang got something to do with the 10 rings. So that's why I think that's where that signal comes from, and that was one of our first introductions to him in there. But for Eternals, Eternals is good, but Eternals is good as a non-Marvel movie. Like, if you'd have said Touchstone Films made this, and it's all these people, and it's not about the comic, this would have been great.
Yes,
but I remember, I
agree.
What we said, I feel like this is
and it tells a good story.
Yeah, I feel like this is going to have the same impact that Age of Ultron had. Like, Age of Ultron came out and people was like, nigga, what? But then years later, people were like, oh shit, it makes sense. I feel like once we get
they tied in a lot of it.
Once we get deep in Phase 6, people going to go back on Eternals like, oh, okay, now I see why.
And here's why
Can I ask you a question? Did y'all rank? No, my bad. I'm sorry. Sometimes it might be lagging on my end too, so y'all might be talking and I didn't see it or anything like that. But my question was, did y'all rank the shows too?
No. We didn't.
I was gonna say that. We should do that at the end or something.
Yeah. We can do that.
But I will say, arguably, think about this. Arguably, I think Shang-Chi is the best origin story out of all the heroes.
Yes.
Because Iron Man is it's the intro. I was like, man, this is a great story, and it did not lag. It gave great character development. It wasn't the same. You know how in the first movie they always had the same villain. It was a totally different villain. I was like, this is what I'm talking about.
It actually gave us a better look into the mythical and mythology side of Marvel on Earth than anybody.
Yes.
Like that was the one. Like he said, for Iron Man, we got to focus on him. Shang-Chi showed us a whole world, the 10 rings, the Asian culture, the mythology behind it, and it showed how it centers around him and his sister. Because people keep sleeping and forgetting his sister gonna get her own series for the 10 rings. But this is why they sleep on it, because of Spider-Man. And this is why, and I know people finna get real pissed at this. People got to get off that hypodermic needle of seeing them 3 Spider-Man. Because if you take away the hype of seeing them, that story was ass.
No, the villain was the villain was still dope.
And here's why. Here's why. Let me tell you. Hey, you know what fucked it up for them? Endgame. Because of the fact that Spider-Man said, "Oh, we got to save all these people. Let's go back to Endgame." All of them knew when Hope went to go talk to the Sorcerer Supreme. When you change something, that timeline creates a branch. So everything in this movie he did not matter, because they were going to become variants and then get killed anyway. And so the fact that we already knew that too is just like, yo, this don't make no sense. And then that's the only reason why I couldn't raise Doctor Strange.
That he's trying to save these guys.
Yeah, because there were too many obvious things. Like even in Doctor Strange, I love the movie, but I wish they would have gave us together. I wish they gave us the last 30 minutes with Charlize Theron's character, because I couldn't get over the fact that two things. If Scarlet Witch is this powerful, one, why couldn't she just rewrite her kids into this reality? Just saying. Number two, if she's going to a different universe, why could you not go to one where that version is dying of cancer and you take her place and you got your kids back?
Will been pushing that for like 5 episodes.
I was like, yo, I could not get past that. Like,
Will, that makes so much sense.
It does make sense.
Then here's the last part, and there's a part to that too I want to add, like, that I didn't like about the multiverse or what he did was, you need to, like, he needed to spend more time in Earth 838. I felt like Earth 838 was just like a quick, oh, we're here, and that's it. No, nigga, you fell and you're dressed completely different than everybody else. I wanted to see more of what, like, I'm not saying Marvel cameos or anything like that, but who are the Avengers in 838? Who is what, how is there Inhumans in 838? Do you like that to me, they just missed the mark with that, because now I think they could have just set up a bigger, because there's going to be an incursion. We know this.
Oh yeah,
being
on what's happening.
Oh, and I got my theory on where this incursion take place.
Yeah. But I know why.
But my thing is just like, I just think they should have stayed more.
I would have 100% loved if I would 100% loved if they piggyback off of Spider-Man and said, "This is what you fucked up. We're gonna have to fix this." I would have loved that. But I know why they didn't do that. I know why, because they was like, this is still Stone Age property, and we Marvel. By any chance we fuck up again, we don't want their story to be tied into our story. So that's why they had like a very small mention of Spider-Man. It was like, because I was like, I see what y'all doing.
So if you do notice too, just like you said, Dion, they said it in that movie, but they made it seem like Spider-Man don't exist in this MCU universe, because he was like Spider-Man should be multiversal, especially how they were talking. And the fact that she don't even know a Spider-Man exists, that was very smart of them to not include him yet.
It was like, he's like, are you familiar with multiverse? He's like, we've done something recently with the Spider guy.
Spider what?
The one thing
that about his butt.
The one thing that y'all said that I do agree on, though, this was if back on Doctor Strange, that was the dumbest version of Doctor Strange that we've gotten out of all Doctor Stranges. I feel like he made a lot of mistakes that is like, bro, like at some point, when are you going to be the Sorcerer Supreme? Like you should be thinking like that, but you made like that's what I did. What I didn't like about Spider-Man. I'm like, bro, you did this child. You didn't ask nothing. Peter said, "Hey, let's do this." You said, "All right, boom." Like you didn't ask no questions.
You got mad at him because he didn't check about school. You didn't check to see if you could throw it back. You didn't check to ask that, for you went down in the mythical room and started doing shit.
Didn't ask, but didn't do.
Yeah, I agree with all this. Yeah.
And then you know what too? You remember the last episode we were talking about Marvel needing an anchor. It ain't gonna be Strange. I now realize it's gonna be Wong. Wong is finna be the anchor to all of this, because that's who we get along with a lot better. That's who we like seeing. And the thing is, I love the in and out about it. Dion, did you get your computer fixed to update?
It keeps saying like, no. I can turn it on. It's gonna be this right here. It's gonna be this.
Okay, if you can't just wipe the screen a little bit so it get off that.
Oh, it's that bad, huh?
We'll got a little glow.
Yeah, it just got a little glow.
We're still in the pre-show.
So make sure you look good out here.
Look, it was Ernest, man. Ernest was coming for you, man. He
that nigga
Ernest out here wild. No, go ahead. Go.
I was about to say, since we talking about the series, y'all ready to rank these series?
Yeah.
But,
so
but if you still had a thought, go and finish your thought.
Oh yeah. So while we finish that, so it's like, yo, I think in Loki season 2, I think we're going to get to see more into what happened in the multiversal war that he was talking about. I think that's where we're going to see Loki get a lot of his driven from, because he has to figure out, okay, how did this start? How did it end? And how do we take care of this now if he keeps saying that history is bound to repeat itself? I think Quantum Mania is going to give us Kang the Conqueror, and we see that version. And then Loki 2 is what's going to give us the multiple versions of Kang and the different variants of him.
And then to culminate it all with, Kang Dynasty. The Avengers Kang Dynasty. Like this nigga, they're literally gonna have to fight like 20 versions of this nigga.
Yep. And we're gonna get into that because that was included in phase 6. But we're gonna get into that. But I know one thing that we did rank the phase 4 Marvel movies, and so I think it's only right, like Clint brought up in the behind the scenes, that y'all can check out. That we break down the shows. Who had the best to the worst shows?
I'm gonna go worst to best for me.
Okay.
All right. Worst for me was the Falcon and Winter Soldier.
I agree.
All right. Then I might have to hit y'all with
thinking of all the series.
I got you. Yeah. You can write it down. You can write it down if you want to kind of rank yours.
But it's crazy because it wasn't bad though. It wasn't a bad series, but I can see why that's the worst one.
I think the idea of it was a great idea. Of the people that was blipped was like, we should be dominant over the ones that came back. I think it was a great idea, but because of the coronavirus original story, it jacked up. They took out a whole bunch of stuff, a whole bunch of reshoots, and it was like this story's all over the place.
The thing is, they didn't take it far enough, and I think because it was this, they didn't take it far enough. Like, yo, this is a and also to the terrorists.
That's a political show.
It's a very political show because you didn't really
100%.
dive into a lot of it, which you could have really jumped into. And I don't think Captain America has yet to really go hit that hard, because even so, like with Captain America and even like the Winter Soldier, we don't get to see politics like that. The politics we did kind of see was within SHIELD and its factions. This one had to do with the world, and it was just like, I don't think y'all gonna try to depict that in a bad light as y'all should have, because just like how these people who are to like put refugees where they go, that's FEMA. And they did a horrible job, just like in this show. But it was like, yo, you didn't press on that. It was just kind of like, even the fact of Captain America being black, or the fact of him really giving up that shield. Like, it was just like, yo, it was still kind of just slid under, just like, yo, why didn't you take it? Why did you let this guy get it? Or even showing the polls of going like, a black Captain America, give me a fanatic. You didn't give us any of that. You kind of tried to make this.
How do the people really feel about having a black Captain America?
Right.
So what's your next one?
Next, as the worst, I'm gonna have to hit y'all with Miss Marvel. Wasn't a fan of it. I'm sorry. I'm gonna put that right there.
That's cool. That's okay.
Then I'm gonna go with Hawkeye.
That's what I thought was next before Miss Marvel.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Then I'm gonna go.
I thought that.
Then I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna go with Moon Knight, and then I'm gonna end it with Loki, and then Wanda.
Wanda's number one.
Wanda's number one for me.
Ooh.
Okay. Oh, hold on.
So
what if it's also a series?
Yeah. What if it's
honorable mention? Can we say honorable mention?
Yeah, for sure. It's like a bunch of movies, so it's hard to kind of rank it as a series. It's great.
Okay, so we'll put it as an honorable mention, because it is like it's hard to.
I definitely enjoy them all, but it's like it's so hard to rank it because like it's a bunch of short films. I would put it after Loki, number 3.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah.
Clint, what about you? So you got Falcon, Winter Soldier, WandaVision, Loki, What If, Hawkeye, Miss Marvel, and Moon Knight for the Phase 4 series.
I'm gonna rank them from best to worst. For me.
Okay.
I can't do worst to best. I got to do best to worst.
Gotcha.
Okay.
The best one to me was Loki. Loki, hands down. I think that as far as just implications, storytelling, it even came full circle with his character. You know what I'm saying? Like Loki accepted who he is, but also people change, and he's changed. You know what I'm saying? In a sense, I mean, he's still mischief and blah blah. But like, I started feeling bad for Loki.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, and that was hard
especially that version of him from the first Avengers.
Yeah.
To now.
Yes. Exactly. Then
before you move forward, there was about 2 episodes in Loki that could have been. It didn't help the stories at all. It was like they were in that in between. Like it was like
when I did know that the one when they were on Lamentus.
Yeah, it was kind of like this is a waste. This is a waste of an episode. I know they were trying to get the relationship. I know they were trying to build the relationship with them.
Yeah, it was the relationship, and I don't think it was a waste just for the simple fact of it helped me learn a little bit more about who Loki really is.
More of her.
And him. No, and him too. No, and him too.
And him. He has some very powerful lines in that. That was episode 4, if I'm not mistaken. Because episode 5 was the one where they were Loki was in the
they went to see the council, and that's when they cut the heads off and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah.
I loved it. I loved it when she was a mysterious. I'm sorry. I love the first 3 episodes when she was a mystery. I was like, oh, this show is incredible.
She was only a mystery for like 2 though. I think the first 2 she was a mystery.
Yeah.
And then the 3
by 3, yeah. Then my second, then WandaVision. I like WandaVision. Not too much like, so for me, WandaVision took me on a journey. Because I had to be patient with it. Because at first I didn't understand.
Oh yeah, of course.
I didn't understand the whole, sitcom shtick. I didn't understand what she was doing. Don't forget we're fresh off of the blip. I'm expecting a bigger. Yeah, I don't know what's happening, but the payoff was great. So I'm a fan of that. Like if you're going to drag me along, the payoff better be good. For me, the payoff with WandaVision was excellent. So there's that. Number 3 series to me was I liked Miss Marvel.
Thank you, bro. Miss Marvel was hard, bro.
Miss Marvel was very good, bro. It was well done, well executed. It did a good job to me. This is just me, Dion. It did a great job of introducing a brand new character. You know what I'm saying? Telling a whole and like even learning about the Noor dimension and blah 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 blah. That was a very good and you know what else I liked about it? It was for teenagers because my stepdaughter likes it. And it was great to watch that with her and like be able to I was a really good fan of what they did, making it lighthearted with also moving forward to MCU. Like it wasn't super dark. Like when the DODC was coming in, I'm like, oh man, they about to take her, they about to torture this little girl and blah 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 blah. Nah, that's not what happened. Like she was also on a journey to finding herself. Like she's also an average 16-year-old. I like it.
It's not even about her. It's about how strict Muslims are. She got so much grace. Episode 1, you cannot go. She went anyway. I'm sorry, Mom, I got caught. Hey, I know this is kind of a bad time, but can I go to? All right, just one time. She do something else. Mess up a whole wedding. I'm sorry, Mom, I messed up. Can I go overseas and see my so-and-so? All right, this has been in your soul, but I'm going. I'm like, why did she get so much grace? You have been called in havoc.
I think you're overthinking. I think you're overthinking parenting. This is.
Well, I know this. I know Muslims.
Well, you also
I know,
but that's a very blanket statement to say. That's like somebody saying, "I know black people." And
you're right.
Because I wouldn't whoop my child today. Whoopings don't. The way I was raised is not the way I'm going to raise my child, and I think that there's a hint of that.
I shouldn't have said Muslims.
And there's that balance inside. So you also got to look at like her parents. Like one, her mom is an outcast because her mother is an outcast because they come from a so-called crazy part of the family. Two, her dad's very optimistic and stuff like that. So it's like, yo, whenever her mom get mad, it's come on, like, let's just kind of take a little bit off of her. Like, yo, she's 16, it's new. You remember how we were when we came to this country? Because again, you gotta remember her mom was a rebel. So she went outside a lot of those Muslim traditions that you would be saying that might be brought up. But what I like about it was the fact of you're mad about not even that mad, like, you know, like that point. But the point I loved about it was the fact that they did not keep her identity from them. They allowed her to tell her, hey, I'm Miss Marvel. I have these powers, because I would have hated to see this 16-year-old have to balance trying to hide that, because it wouldn't make sense. Your parents don't know you shooting energy and stuff out of your room. Like, I found that hard to believe. So I'm glad
I really enjoyed Miss Marvel.
My mom called me shooting
behind her. A community is behind
my
her.
Number 4 is Moon Knight. Here's why I like Moon Knight. I didn't know anything. I didn't read the comics or anything like that. I knew nothing about who Moon Knight was, what Moon Knight is, what relevance he plays in the MCU. But what I like was just like, I'm a history buff. It played into that very well with Egyptian, you know, like, and they really, you know, using the duat and stuff like that. Like, that was man, can we just talk about the acting of
Oscar Isaac? Oscar Isaac.
Oscar, woo!
Yeah.
Like, to be able to play 2 different versions of yourself, then you're going to play a third one in Jake Lockley. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I really enjoyed seeing him, you know, be 3 different people. You know what I'm saying? Man. Like, to being, you know, to be Mark Spector, to be we
forgot. We forgot that it's the same person.
Yeah.
And he's talking to himself.
Yeah.
Like, this is crazy.
And to
so I love that.
Yeah.
Number from Apocalypse,
Yeah.
So my number 5 series, in order, I'm gonna go Hawkeye was 5. I like a good some holiday shit. You know what I mean? It came out right around the holidays. It played into the whole holiday theme. Like, I enjoyed that. I enjoyed seeing a good quality Christmas themed show. And basically,
for me, it was very believable. I loved it.
Yeah. And for me, it also introduced Kingpin and introduced, you know what I'm saying, which, you know, that's going to introduce a whole different situation, but also, you know, Kate Bishop, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is the new Hawkeye. Clint, whatever last name is, Clint Barton. I think his last name is.
Yeah,
it's your name.
Fuck that. No, I was strong for to say Coley too. That's what I was like. No, it's not.
Hey, I was about to say the same thing. I was like,
it's not Coley.
It's not Coley.
It's something.
It's not Coley. You're right. Exactly. And then I'm gonna say Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Falcon to me. It just if I forgot any, I'm sorry, but my last one is probably a Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Just on the strength of I didn't care.
Yeah,
I did not care, man.
That's what it is. Yeah,
it was all over the place.
You nailed it. That was it. You just didn't care. Yeah.
See, I did though.
See, okay. Well, we're gonna get
I just didn't like.
I want to hear your ranking.
Did I miss any series?
No, you got to. And then what if? What if? What we say that's an honorable mention just because it's called.
What if it's just a set? Yeah.
For me, mine's is kind of like yours too, but I do have a little bias in it. So for 1 and 2, it's WandaVision and Loki, and they switch out. For now, I'm gonna put WandaVision as number 1 only because of the story it had behind it, but also the real life thing it had for me. So like a very close friend of mine passed away from kidney infection last year, and that was the last series we watched together. So like we kept talking about, like if Magneto's gonna be here, like we had so many theories about what was gonna happen. And so like what was crazy about it was he literally passed 2 days after the last episode aired.
Wow.
Yeah, he literally was like, I'll call you right back.
So I'll say this.
That's right.
You gonna change it, Clint, because of that?
You know what?
No, but it's not. But it's it's my number 2 series, but so it's not like it can't be number 1. I loved Loki so much.
Yeah. But I love WandaVision because, and I had to put number 1 because of how the story was told, the idea of what they did for her, and to be honest, that was the first and only time I've seen them really utilize the capability of what the Scarlet Witch can do. From what we've seen, it was just the dreams, and then most of the shit was just energy balls. This is the first time I've seen this woman rewrite reality, and it's just from heartbreak. So imagine her having full control over it and can do whatever she wants. So I was like, this is dope. It showed us Vision, everybody. But then number 2 is Loki, because Loki already knew who he was, and I love to see what they did with his variant to lead him to get us back to even the Loki that we had got accustomed to before Thanos killed him. Was this person that's just like, yo, there's a lot going on with you, and it gave so many layers. And I was like, yo, I think the biggest person they don't really applaud in that series is Owen Wilson. Owen Wilson gave us so many layers to Loki, like the conversations he'd have with him. Right, like, I agree. Yo, why do you kill? Why do you act like this? Like, skip all the bullshit. Skip trying to go through these. Nigga,
why are you the person you are?
Yo, and it's just like, yo, for him to really have that and show that breakdown, it's like, wow, bro, it shows you so much. So that was why it was like I battled with them in number 1 and number 2. And then for Moon Knight and Marvel, it's the same thing. Both great stories for characters that you don't know anything about. But it all really is based off of, do you like darker versions of shows, or do you like, the more lighthearted like you have Miss Marvel? So again, those 2 flop for me in the positions of 3 and 4. But Miss Marvel is a perfect example of why Hawkeye has to go under both of them, because Miss Marvel allowed you to get attached to her. I want to see what's going to happen to Miss Marvel now. Hawkeye didn't do that. I didn't get that same.
Yeah, I'm not attached. I'm not attached to the new Kate Bishop. I'm not attached to Kate Bishop at all.
Out of everything that happened in that series, the biggest takeaway from me is that Kingpin is here, and also Kingpin has powers because he was launching people around, and we didn't see that in the other series.
And so he got shot point blank, and he's not dead.
Yeah, and Echo was more fire than everybody in the damn series. So it was just
come on, man. But hold on, before you move forward. Do you understand how incredible Hawkeye's story is? Hear me out. He told I'm gonna get chills once again. He told his kids, I will be there in 5 days, right? Each episode was a day, and it was counting down. So he was like, hey, I'm so sorry. He's like, I need to get out of here. So every episode, I felt like I just wanted you to get home to your kids so you can be home for Christmas. Things kept happening. He's hiding his story from his family. Are you okay? Yeah, it's getting out of hand now. You sure? I think. Have you found a watch? Oh, what's going on with his wife? So I'm like, I was more concerned. See what I'm saying? So I was more concerned about Hawkeye versus Kate Bishop. I was like that.
Because that's the thing. Like, we're not going to see him no more. Yeah, like
he retired.
Yeah,
he retired.
Like, you bust out.
And he dead.
And then too, it's like you went for different reasons that we learned. It was like, yo, so you weren't out there to spend time with your kids. Yeah, you were on a mission, and it was for your wife who used to be with Shield. And
he had his outfit. His outfit. He was like, this is about to get out of hand because I did some dark stuff in his outfit. I need to bury his outfit.
No. Remember, that's what tied him to Kate Bishop. Remember, he was in New York already because they went seeing that film. And they said that it was supposed to be him taking the kids out. But remember, at the end of Hawkeye, they asked you, yo, were you able to get that ring? And it's like, yes, because that ring had a file on it that was needed for them. So he was already on a mission for her. And so it's just like, what does she do? And what has she been doing this whole time? But again, too, are we going to get that? Because that seems like that's the end of Barton. Like, yo, I'm riding off into the sunset. I'm done.
Yeah. And I don't care what you say. I love Black.
And then also with Hawkeye, like, I don't know if it was for y'all, but for me, the whole thing, I'm like, all right, it seemed like it's Kingpin. So my whole investment in the show was, am I going to see fucking Kingpin? Like, I didn't care.
And also, too, I didn't like that Ronan like, they very much downplayed this Ronan character.
They did.
Like most people, first off, how'd you lose your suit? You didn't even tell us that. Like,
where did
how does a master assassin get his suit stolen? But I'm like, all right, I'll let it rock. Secondly, how is it no one is coming after you? You've killed hundreds of people. You have killed.
You should be arrested.
Yo, and the only person that is after you is Echo. That's it.
Yeah.
It didn't. It's like it really downplayed the Ronin character, and I think too, like it goes back to, like I said, because of Disney and not lifting them ratings yet, you don't get to show this shit because like, yo, this dude slaughtered.
Yeah. He was in the underbelly going crazy.
Like,
so like we should have saw top mob gangster villains coming at his ass. Like, nah.
Yo, the fact that Ronin suit even on auction, that should have been one of the reasons of attacking this place. Like like Kate Bishop's thing, because like Hawkeye was making it seem very like yo, like you don't understand like what you done. It's like, yeah, because y'all not really showing the ramifications of her putting this suit on. It's like, yo, this dude killed like 83 people that I put a bullet in him. Yeah. Like we didn't see none of that. We didn't see no all-out assault on trying to find this dude. Nothing. It was just one person who
partially in Endgame. And how you not arrested? I think Don Cheadle was like, "Hey, your boy needs to get picked up because he out here wilding. You're the only one that can stop him."
He did say that.
And to be fair, after all this is done, you still should be arrested. I'm sorry. Like, I know you're the leader.
And then too, hold on. Weren't you already arrested? Weren't you sitting in a prison with Ant-Man and then the cat break y'all out?
Yes.
But then they did, but then again, too, they said like that. I think too, no. Because what they said was, I forgot, they did say in I think Endgame. No, yeah, in Endgame. Bart and they made plea deals, so that's how we got Ant-Man 2 with the anklet, and that's how he got to go back. Was they gave them pardons for what they did. But still, there was not a lot of ramification for it, so that's why it's like I get you're going with the whole Christmas Die Hard feel, and it definitely gave me all of that.
It did,
but outside of it, it was like, yo, it didn't give me no more hype for Kate Bishop. It's like I don't need a Hawkeye 2 showing her. It's like, yo, give me cameos of her until y'all get Young Avengers. And then lastly is of course Falcon and Winter Soldier, because like I said, I didn't care. There were elements there that they just didn't stick on. And too, like I say all the time, and I'm gonna keep saying it, y'all are bullshit for the way y'all introduce Cap suit. And
I do agree with that.
I like y'all ain't shit for that. With the wings, everything. I'm like, yo, you gave us 2 minutes of nothing. I said, and that's foul. Y'all wrong for that, especially to be passing the buck of a person who's going to supposedly be the leader of this next phase. It's like, yo, like, y'all could have done better. I don't give a fuck about this little duo you got between him and the Winter Soldier. Because now, too, when is he going to be put back in here? He has no use in here anymore.
Yeah. And again, he still assassinated a lot of people. He should be arrested. We don't forget that.
He should actually he should be killed.
They did not pardon him. He was definitely not pardoned. You still on the run. And that was my thing. It was like that type of like hostility that he had walking around, and it's just like people look at him like, no, that's not me, and I'm gonna keep going. That's what that Ronin feel should have been with Kate after she put that stuff on. I needed.
Can you blame that on mental illness? Like, hey man, that wasn't me. I was being programmed. Yeah, you still get the rest. You still get 15 to 16.
Because you can't. Because the thing is, you can't prove it. You can't prove it anymore. Because the only one that can prove it is Zemo, and we don't know where he at. And that was my thing too. It was like, yo, like y'all have so many opportunities to really jump into the underbelly of Marvel that y'all don't want to do it. Like the best version I've seen them jump into the underbelly again was Shang-Chi. Because it was like, yo, why wasn't this like where Agent 13 was? This looked dangerous. This looked like, yo, like you ain't like, yo, you come here if you doing some off the wall stuff. And we haven't gotten that yet. So I think they're still trying to be kind of like this with the underbelly of Marvel and the dark magician side of Marvel. So we're gonna see what they do when they get into that. But that's how I ranked them. WandaVision, Loki, Miss Marvel, Moon Knight, Hawkeye, and then Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
How about you, Deuce?
I think that's solid.
So my top one is WandaVision, right?
My top one. My top one.
My top one. No, my top slot goes to WandaVision because I feel like I think we talked about.
I agree.
Either 2 or 3 episodes ago, we talked about like right now. This is the first time that we're seeing Marvel play with actual movie themes. Like these movies are not just superhero movies no more. Like what they did with Multiverse of Madness was a horror. What they did with it
was a horror.
Yeah, so like we're seeing like them playing with themes, and I feel like WandaVision ushered that in with those first 3 episodes. Like we got to see them really play into the TV tropes. It's got them, playing with certain, long, pretty much like the long con, like with Agatha, the reveal of Agatha, and everything like that.
Yeah.
So like I really appreciated the cinematic value that they gave us with that. And then the story, like I said, just even like you said, like Will said, you finally get to see Wanda really fuck up reality, like seeing how she's doing that and everything, and then just all the implications that they gave us with Vision, with Monica Rambeau, with just like it was so much within it. And then they retconned Darcy. Like I hated Darcy for the longest, and then when partner her up with Wu, right? His name was Wu, right?
No. Is it Wu? I think so. Yeah.
His last name,
partnering them two up. I'm like, I would love to see them just a show of them just had like being in Marvel and dealing with everything and knowing what everything's going on. Like I thought that was so dope. Loki, of course, like is my second one, and that Loki just because one introducing us to King, and then the whole multiverse and just really explaining that. And then like Will said, Owen Wilson did a phenomenal job because like when you think about the TVA, it's like the TVA could have easily been some faceless organization, right? But they gave us somebody they gave us somebody to actually be emotionally connected with, right? And kind of the sense. So what you were saying, Dion, that you liked it about Clint and Falcon and Winter Soldier, and Hawkeye, where you was like he wanted to see him get home. Like I was like, fam, like his life, you knew his life was messed up due to the TVA, and I'm like, I want him to get back to his original life. Like, I want, like whatever his original life was.
I want Owen Wilson to get this jet ski, man.
Yeah.
Nah, it was a wrap.
Yeah.
It was a wrap.
Where the jet ski at, baby?
Right, get the jet ski, bro. Like I wanted him to get back into that in regards to that. My third actually is going to be Ms. Marvel. I thoroughly enjoyed everything about Ms. Marvel. I went in one of the reasons why I held Black Panther so high is because I said there was culture in it, right? Like anytime that a movie your hero has a culture to them, then it gets like you get really into it. So the culture of Ms. Marvel of the character and just kind of weaving that into this superhero story. And then we talked about it. She's us. She's a fangirl of these superheroes. And then like you go through her journey of I need to find myself. And throughout, and that's the underlying, because throughout the whole thing, she's living up to this Miss Marvel standard. And she has so many people in her life telling her, no, you don't need to be the next Miss Marvel. You need to be the next you, right? You need to be you, not Captain Marvel. So you're seeing her find herself. And then the way that they laid those breadcrumbs into her finding her suit. It's like, oh, you're going to get the suit here, or you're going to get the scarf here, or you're going to get your logo here. Like, I love that whole thing and her journey into it. I thought it was so done.
Trash.
No, it was
what? I'm sorry, my bad. Keep going.
And then how they introduced mutants, I was like, yo, they did so much so fast just in that little bit. Like, whoa, wait a minute. Like, no, I lost my mind with that. And then even the Easter egg at the end, just like, okay, I see. Like, yeah, there was so much that I loved about that. So I got that at 3. What else we got here? Like, what am I missing? Okay, we got.
You got Moon Knight. I believe you also have Hawkeye and then Captain America: Winter Soldier.
All right, Moon Knight is my next one. Yep, Moon Knight is my next one. I do like. I did like I said, the darker origin story of it, and I felt like my only gripes against Moon Knight is I wanted to see way more Moon Knight hand-to-hand action, because when they showed us this, that nigga was going in. Like he was beasty with that. I'm like, bro, I need to see more of this. But I love the suit change. I love the multiple personalities of it and everything like that. I am going to give Falcon and Winter Soldier my next one. Like,
fuck out of here.
I fucking love Falcon and Winter Soldier, bro. Like, there was a lot that I would take about. I don't love Falcon and Winter Soldier. I liked it. There was a lot that I had some issues with, but like for the most part, like I did enjoy again seeing the underbelly. I agree. We should have got way more into that underbelly, but I did like the exposure that we got into it. I did like what they did try to give us, but Hawkeye is my least. Again, the only thing there was two things that I was heavily interested in. One, again, I wanted to see when are we getting Kingpin, and two, I was like, oh shit, it's Clayton English. I want to see that nigga shine. That was the only thing that I. That was the
highlight of that
we
whole
definitely
show.
cared about Clayton English. For
Yeah.
First of all,
you know what's funny?
And you know what's funny? This may sound like a hating comment, but it's not. I'm going to preface it with that. But like when I saw Clayton English in the MCU, I said, how the fuck did he get that? And I don't mean it from a place that he doesn't deserve it. It's to see a guy that's a comedian that's like one of us.
Right.
He's one of us. I'm like, one of us is in the MCU, dog.
And I was
so happy for him.
Me too. And I'll say this about this for Clayton, and it's just like I don't know if he'll see this, but it's like the one thing I wish he would have done was I so wish he would have pushed that on social media further.
Yes,
because of that, I wanted to support him so much. Because the fact of it wasn't a line. It's like, bro, you're a takeaway character of this.
Yes.
Like, I would love to see you come back in the MCU. Like that's like for the little time you had, I saw a story that could be written for you. And it was just like, I really wish you would have pushed that more on social media.
Well, see, they can. And that's the thing that I was like, that's what I was hoping. Because as soon as I saw him, I said, you know, me, I'm like, let me do the research. So I'm figuring out who that character is Clint's, like one of his best friends. Like in the comic, in the run, he has a long standing history with Hawkeye. So I'm like, oh shit, Clayton about to be in this motherfucker. Like I was so geeked about that. So like I was looking forward to that. You know what I'm saying? Especially at the end, I was like, oh shit, he about to fight. And then he was just ushering people. I was like, all right, cool, whatever. I get it. But like I want to see get Clayton English to fucking Marvel body. Let that nigga bulk up. You know what I'm saying? Let him be like frontline, you know, because like everybody got they army.
Yeah,
the Hawkeye army. You know what I'm saying?
What it sounds like to me though is we kind of all agree it's just in different orders. Like we all agree 1 and 2 is most of us. Well, most of us agree 1 and 2 is Loki and WandaVision. Between there, you know, whether it's you can flip flop either or. I'm not mad at WandaVision being 1. Nobody would be mad at Loki being 1.
Right.
And vice versa. Then 3, 4, we all kind of agree like it's except Dion. But we all kind of agree 3, 4 is Miss Marvel and Moon Knight.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It could go either or. And then same thing with Captain America and Hawkeye. It's like I could go either or with that too. I think Captain America, or Falcon Winter Soldier is the worst one, but I can understand why 5 and 6 ain't it's not a big deal.
They both can sit in that mail room and say, fuck it. You don't need a season 2.
Facts.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's our take on theirs. You don't know what you do to me. You don't know what you do to me.